Bitcoin traders on Polymarket are currently pricing a 75% chance that Bitcoin will reach $70,000 before hitting $90,000. This prediction market is becoming another indicator of weakening short-term risk appetite. The market in question asks whether Bitcoin will trade at or below $70,000 before reaching $90,000. It opened on May 4 and is scheduled to resolve around January 1, 2027. If neither level is reached before the deadline, the market resolves 50-50. The resolution is based on Binance BTC USDT 1-minute high and low prices, meaning the outcome will depend on exchange-level price action rather than a broad market average. The market has generated about $86,000 in trading volume, which is enough to serve as a sentiment signal, but not deep enough to reflect institutional positioning. Polymarket odds reflect where traders are putting money at a specific point in time, not a guaranteed forecast. Still, the 75% pricing shows that participants now see downside continuation as more likely than a fast recovery toward $90,000. Bitcoin is trading near $75,350 after sliding from the high $77,000 area and touching an intraday low around $74,300. That leaves the $70,000 target much closer than $90,000 in spot terms, giving the bearish side a cleaner path if ETF pressure, weaker liquidity, or liquidation flows continue to weigh on the market. The Polymarket pricing lines up with the latest pressure in the spot market. U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded $105.2 million in net outflows on May 22, with BlackRock's IBIT losing $68.9 million and Fidelity's FBTC losing $36.3 million. The latest print extended a negative. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. Stretch that has kept institutional demand weaker than the market had seen during earlier rallies. Bitcoin had already been struggling to hold the $77,000 zone as ETF demand faded. Recent market developments suggest that Bitcoin's path toward $90,000 is not currently favored by traders. The Polymarket odds reflect this sentiment, with the $70,000 target being more likely in the near term. The current price of Bitcoin is in a position where a drop to $70,000 is much closer than a rise to $90,000. This dynamic increases the probability that traders see a bearish continuation as more likely. The ETF outflows are a key factor in this bearish outlook. The $105 million in net outflows from Bitcoin ETFs on May 22 is part of a broader trend of weakening institutional demand. This trend is contributing to the current bearish bias in the market. The Polymarket pricing is consistent with this trend, as it reflects a higher probability of Bitcoin falling to $70,000 before rising to $90,000. The resolution mechanism of the market, which is based on Binance BTC USDT 1-minute high and low prices, means the outcome will be determined by exchange-level price action. This is important because it means the market outcome is tied to a specific exchange's data rather than a broader market average. This could introduce volatility or bias depending on how Binance's data compares to other exchanges. The $86,000 in trading volume on Polymarket is not large enough to reflect deep institutional positioning, but is still a useful sentiment signal. It shows that traders are actively betting on Bitcoin's direction, with a strong bearish bias currently in place. The 75% pricing is a clear signal that traders see a higher likelihood of Bitcoin falling to $70,000 than rising to $90,000. This is a reflection of current market conditions and trader sentiment. The next signal to watch is whether Bitcoin can stabilize above $75,000 or if it continues to slide towards $70,000. If ETF outflows continue and liquidity remains weak, Bitcoin could see further downward pressure. If institutional demand picks up and ETF inflows resume, the market could see a reversal. The Polymarket market will remain open until January 1, 2027, giving traders time to adjust their positions as new information becomes available. The resolution date is far enough in the future to allow for multiple. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. Market cycles and potential shifts in sentiment. The next signal to watch is the performance of Bitcoin ETFs in the coming weeks. If outflows continue, it could reinforce the bearish bias reflected in the Polymarket odds. If inflows return, it could shift the odds back toward a higher probability of Bitcoin reaching $90,000 before $70,000. The current price of Bitcoin is near $75,350, and any movement above or below this level could provide insight into the market's direction. The Polymarket market is a useful tool for gauging trader sentiment, but it is not a guaranteed forecast. The 75% pricing is a reflection of current conditions and trader positioning, not a definitive prediction of Bitcoin's future price. The market remains dynamic, and new information could change the odds at any time.